Like, I don't know if I was, like, cheated on in a past life or something. I don't know where this hatred comes from, but if a show has it, a movie has it, like, a book has it.
The betrayal rings so deep. It's literally through generations and, like, lifetimes for you. Alternate universe betrayal. Making mistakes 2 years later.
I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you. I literally just thought I was the only one counting down.
She definitely meant it. She definitely meant it.
I did not.
This was an attack on you.
Yeah.
Defend yourself. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Romancing the Monsters. I'm Em.
Hi, I'm S.
I'm Seth.
And today we have another one of our episodes where we come to the discussion with absolutely no notes, nothing, no preparation whatsoever. In other words, another bite-sized. Yeah.
Great
it took
intro.
Me 3 episodes. It took me. Oh, thank you. It took me 3 bite-sized to figure out a way to make the title work. I figured it out. I figured out what it means.
Okay.
Bite-sized. It means that we're having bite-sized conversations in the sense that it's like multiple little conversations.
Ah!
There you go. I made it make sense. Because at first we were
Nice.
like, don't have a name. Then the second episode, it was like bite-sized because the episode is supposed to be short, which it never is. So I was like, how can we make this work, guys? We have a name. We committed to a name.
Yeah.
Bite-sized conversations.
It makes sense now. Thank you.
There you go. I figured it out.
Thanks.
Thank
you
you.
cracked the code.
I cracked the code. But today, while I say we have no preparation, we did at the very least, agree on a topic. Tropes.
Mm-hmm.
We want to talk about tropes. The ones we like, the ones we feel like there definitely are not enough books with that trope, or the tropes we absolutely despise or are hard-nosed. So, where should we start? With what should we start with the ones that we feel there just aren't enough books in that trope, or should we start with a hard nose?
I feel like if we start off negative right off the bat, not even negative, but like with the ones that we hate, I don't know. Let's ease into it. I feel like start with the ones that we wish there were more books for. Or you just want to cause
She wants to go in with the hard nose.
I feel like these episodes are sassier, though.
All right, you know what? Let's go. Hard nose. Cheating.
Oh, cheating. Yeah, you hate cheating. Why?
Why? Because I don't want to read about the male or the female character cheating on the supposed love interest. Not cool for me. I don't want to read it. It's just not something I want to read about.
Okay, here's the question, though. For every single hard nose, I want to know if there is an exception to that rule. Like, was there one book, though, that did make the cut?
I feel like I have one, but let me think about it.
For cheating? Is cheating a hard limit for you?
No, but I think it depends. But I feel like I've read... Okay, so I have one book that I didn't finish that it was a complete hard no.
Spill the tea.
So the book that was a hard no, I DNF'd it, was Thoughtless by...
Ooh, S.C. Steffens?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, oh, that book is old. There is cheating in that one.
Yeah, and like...
that was a hard no.
The hard no, like I completely like...
Oh, that's a fan favorite though. You're going somewhere. That's a classic for a lot of people.
Huge. Like I feel like it was a huge...
it's not even on my radar because I don't like cheating, so I did not even look at whatever book this is.
Yeah, no.
Okay, Miss Salty over there.
Well, is there
Salty
a book?
over a book from 2013.
Do you have a book that you read, Seth, that completely like...
No, that's the thing. I don't think I've ever read a book where cheating is like a main conflict in the story between the main the main couple. I have like hard no authors that I know I'll never go to, like Madeline Sheehan, I think. She's one that has cheating in her books. And it's like well known. So that's what I don't go there. Like I don't know if I was like cheated on in a past life or something. I don't know where this hatred comes from, but if a show has it, a movie has it, like a book has it, it's like
the betrayal rings so deep. It's literally through generations and like lifetimes for you. Alternate universe betrayal.
There's a movie that I like that has cheating, and I think you watched it, Marge, like a couple years ago.
Marge watched a movie?
Me watching a movie?
Yeah, Something Borrowed.
Oh, I hate that movie with a passion.
I hate that movie so much.
I love it. I love it so much.
It was so bad.
The drama, I love that movie.
No.
I hate it.
That's a favorite of mine.
We're 6 minutes into this episode and we're already like disagreeing.
Can you think off the top of your head if there's a book that does it where you can stomach it? Like where it's done well?
Oh.
Not that I'd read it, but if for listeners that they want to read a cheating book.
There is one, and I just read it like a year or 2 years ago. Layla Attar. Hold on.
Oh, really?
Let me pull up. I have my Goodreads here.
Oh, that's an author I've always wanted to try her books, and I just haven't.
53 Letters from My Lover. Oh, I love that book.
Cheating.
That one, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. I forgive it. I forgive her. She's the one that cheated.
Oh, she cheated.
She's the one that cheated, yeah.
Ooh.
Huh.
A really popular one is A Love Letter to Whiskey. I believe that's cheating.
Oh,
is it not?
I think so.
But they're not cheating on each other. I think he's cheating on his partner
with her.
I think she
with
might
her.
And I think she might be doing the same, if I remember.
That's a question. Does it bother you less if they're cheating together on someone else? Or is it the hard no is when it's one of them cheats on the other love interest with someone else?
It's both. I can't stand it if they cheat with the love interest on their partner that they're with previously before meeting the partner. I can't do it either. Because they're still like hurting someone else. Yeah, sure, they might be like written as the villain in their perspective, but even if they're not written as like the villain, just not the person they're in love with, it's still like not okay for me.
What do you define as cheating then? I'm curious. Like, does kissing count, or is it even just like showing interest, or just finding someone attractive? Like, is that cheating?
I think like for me, it's obviously emotionally cheating. That's one thing, but also like physically cheating, whether that be like sex or like kissing or like even just like having an intimacy with someone else. I consider that cheating, especially in books too, because I feel like you read every emotion, you read every like thought that they have. I feel like it's a bit cheating.
Yeah. This is a perfect time to remind people, in case you are an author or a reader, and this is your favorite trope or a trope that you write.
Right, yes.
This is not an attack on you. We are literally the perfect example that whatever it is that one reader doesn't like is what another reader likes.
Exactly.
I'm right here. I do not mind cheating in my books. I really don't. In fact, I find it kind of intriguing. So yeah, really, please do not take this of this
please don't
personally.
I understand it's real life and it's a lived experience for a lot of authors, and sometimes they use books as like an outlet for that or something.
Sure.
Like I understand that it happens in real life. I understand that. It's just when I pick up a book, I personally, in my opinion, don't want to read about it. But like there's millions upon millions of people that will read that.
The thing is, I say it's a trope that I'm interested in, but I don't actually think I've read any books with, not that I can remember. Definitely I have read books where like there was a kiss, for example, like the girl was trying to make the guy jealous and so she's kissing some other guy, but like there's literally no like emotional involvement with that guy whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's literally just to make the guy jealous. So yeah, I mean, if you have any suggestions for me, Feel free to reach us online. Reach me. Don't reach Saf. She'll,
I will not cuss you out. Don't worry.
She'll cancel you.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, definitely let me know, because I'm intrigued. All right. S, what's a trope that is a hard no for you?
I don't know. And that's what I kept thinking about.
You don't have a lot of hard no's.
I don't
feel
think
like.
so. I think I will try everything once, but I think it just depends how it's written. Something will work with one author in one book, and then I'll read it with another, and it won't work. So it just depends.
That is the reason why there are exceptions, even to your hard no's. It's like that one author can really write it in a way that you can actually connect with, or it makes you change your mind just for that one book. Yeah. But, well, that's not an answer, S. I need an answer here. What's a hard no? Okay, surely there's something.
Is there something you tried, but you realized you didn't like it?
Yeah, like you tried it once and you're like, no, actually, no. That's no.
Or maybe it's like, it's not that you hated it, but you're like, I don't want to revisit it. But it's okay.
I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Oh, God. Do you want us to circle back to you?
We'll circle back. Let me think about it some more.
What's one trope you hate?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one for me is very obvious. I feel like I've mentioned it multiple times. I am not into multiple partners at the same time when it comes to sexual things. I'm not into threesomes. That's a hard no for me. Whenever there's a book with a threesome in it, that's like cold shower for me. Not into it. And so far there has been no exceptions to that rule.
Have you attempted to change your mind about it?
No, I'm very,
yeah. It's a no for her.
I'm very, confident in my choice not to like that. I will say there is a book series which I love. The first book we read for the podcast, which was Slow Heat by Letta Blake. Mm-hmm. And the second book in that series, I guess kind of counts as a poly relationship in the sense that it's an Omegaverse world. So I think the second book is called Alpha Heat. Yeah. It's an Omegaverse world where our two main characters are two alphas. And in this world, that's kind of forbidden. They shouldn't be together. But one of them, Xan, I believe was his name. Mm-hmm. He is an alpha who has always wanted to be an omega. Like that's his sexual fantasy is to submit like an omega. And so he is trying to, or I guess has this relationship with Euro, which S affectionately calls
your hoe.
Who is able to give him that. He's able to give him a relationship where he can explore his omega tendencies. However, Xan is already mated to an omega who is kind of, I believe he's asexual. Yes. Or, where he feels absolutely no attraction towards his mate or anyone for that matter. He, his body has, needs just because it's, physiological at that point, but he is not attracted to them. But they are in this kind of like partnership, the three of them, but the romantic relationship is mostly between two of them. All of this to say that in that book, I know that there is a scene where all three of them are involved, and I do believe that could be the exception to the rule for me, because one of them, while he is a part of it just because his body requires for him to be a part of it, emotionally he is not invested in that way with them. I don't know. I feel like that could be an exception to the rule for me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've read that book, and I think it could be an exception to your rule, to be honest. The way that it's done. Yeah.
Another exception to the rule, which is one that I've read, it was Love Me Whole by Nikki James. And that book is a MM romance where one of the character has, I always struggle saying that, dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, yeah.
Is that? Yeah. So he has multiple, personalities, I guess, multiple people living in the same body with one, I believe they call him host. And so there's 5, and including, the host, I believe. And 2 of them are sexually involved with the other guy. Obviously, so to me, it does feel like a poly relationship, just because there are 2 of his identities that are in a relationship like that with the other guy, but obviously they're never there at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, it walks that line for me. And I remember reading that book, and it was asking me a lot. It was a lot for me. Like, I needed to come to terms with certain things and like my own discomfort, because I don't love that personally. I have nothing against it for other people, obviously, but like as far as like what I like to read about, that's just not it. So it did put me in a situation where I was a little uncomfortable, but at the end of the day I was like, you know what, it actually got me out of my comfort zone, and it was a really sweet emotional book, so highly recommend.
Question, does this extend to just human relationships, or like, for example, we know that Finley Fen is releasing a 2 orc 1 human woman type relationship book coming out, I think, next year. Is that something that intrigues you, or is it just you don't want to read about it because it's 3 people in a relationship?
I don't care if it's 1 guy, 1 girl, and a rock. That's I'm kidding. A sentient rock? I'm against it.
Okay.
Just for me personally, again, like, absolutely nothing wrong with loving that. I mean, one of us here is all over that shit.
Love it.
24/7. So, so it's just for me. Like, it's I don't have any interests in it. So that obviously extends to reverse harems. However, who knows? By the time this episode comes out, which we are recording this in the past in 2021, December, but we don't know when this is releasing yet. So by the time this releases, perhaps I will have broken or popped my reverse harem cherry.
I'm so excited.
Speak it into existence, Mark.
Yes,
you
please.
got this.
All right, circling back to you, Wes. You
Yes,
better have a fucking answer.
So I was going through my read on Goodreads and like everything that I've like DNF. What I'm picky about when it comes to like DNFing, I guess it would just be the writing. The way dialogue.
Bad writing is a hard no.
The way dialogue is written.
Okay.
But not even like bad writing, because I can read books and I'll be like,
she's like, I've read bad writing and I read the whole
and
goddamn
I
book.
I love the story, but I mean, it depends.
Like, okay, is your issue like punctuation and grammar use, or misuse, I guess, in a sense?
No, like, let's say one example can be where
Spill
the book.
Say the name.
No, I'm not gonna say the name of the book. I won't say the name, but one that pops out. It was, I guess, trying to be like the writing, trying to be like very. What is it when they say like purple prose, like very flowery, trying to be really deep when really. Yeah, it's not that deep.
In the dialogue, or you mean like the whole book?
Monologue and dialogue.
No, I was gonna say, like, can you handle if they say cheesy things to one another, like really, really cheesy?
Ugh.
Yeah, I think I've read cheesy. I'm just like, I like this cheese, and then there's other cheese where I'm just like, I can't do this cheese.
So it depends on the type of cheese.
It depends on the cheese.
All right.
You know, one thing I used to love, or like not even, I wasn't fazed by it, but nowadays I'm like, is in a dialogue when a character has like a big ass monologue, like a big ass paragraph where nobody cuts them off. I used to not even be fazed by that. Like, I was like, oh yes, give me the whole paragraph. Like, I want the declaration, But now I'm like, there's no fucking way that someone can say that amount of words and not get cut off at some point.
Yeah.
I'm like, that shit ain't happening.
No.
I can't handle those anymore. I'm like, no, I don't like this.
Or I hate when like something like that happens, or like a declaration of something happens and there's no response. Like they move on to like the next thing that they're going to talk about. And I'm like, are you not going to acknowledge at least what was said? That's something that I don't like either.
Yeah. Here's another question that kind of works into this. Do you mind it when an author has the characters like their accent is a part of the writing? So like even in their heads they're dropping the G's and like saying y'all or whatever, like if the accent is a part of their inner thoughts and not just like what they're saying, does that bother you? I find that weird. Like I don't drop the G's in my, I mean, I'm not Southern, but like I don't see why your accent would make it into your thoughts.
Your thoughts.
No.
Because I don't think it'll make it into your thoughts, because you are actually just saying the words in your head. And even when you're saying it, you're just saying it the way that you're taught. So it's not that you're like dropping the G intentionally. It's just the way that you speak. And it's like the dialect.
The way your mouth moves, because that's how you learned to form words.
Yeah. Like, it's just the dialect of English that you've learned throughout your life. So I don't think it should be following there. Although I will say, if you decide to do an accent for your characters, you need to make sure all the words are there. Like, you need to, like what I'm saying, like, I feel like when it comes to Scottish characters, I feel like they only use, like, a handful of words in their dialogue. Whereas there's so many other words that should be included for it to be a believable character that's Scottish.
Do you remember when we read, what was it called? Kiss of Steel? How the character in that book, when he was talking, it was so difficult to figure out what he was saying because he was speaking in like it was written in his accent, if that makes sense. Like, and he was obviously like he had a poor background and everything, so he wasn't like educated or anything, so like his language was quite poor.
Yeah.
So it was hard to understand what the fuck he was saying. Circling back to you, Wes. This is your last chance.
Okay, so can I say one thing that I probably won't I won't pick up, I won't touch if the book is a cop, a firefighter, men in uniform, army.
You also said like MMA fighters.
Fighters. Like if that's the book, like a cover that has like the MMA like tape and stuff, or like the
explain yourself.
The army tags like on the cover. Like I won't pick it up. Like if that's a part of like the plot.
So,
like
yeah, the man in a uniform is not your cup of tea.
It's not, and it all goes down to who I dated in the past.
Oh.
Spill the tea.
No, and nothing, and it's nothing bad, I don't think. But I dated someone that, great guy, by the way, great guy. He's a Marine. He was in high school. He volunteered to be. I don't know what it's called, like a trooper. He volunteered for the police. He ended up becoming officer, deputy. And it's just something, he was so involved in my life for a certain amount of time, just me picking up those type of books, like that's who I thought about. And I didn't want, like, you get me, like it was so, his life was that
makes sense though.
So
I can
I can see that.
So when it comes to like any type of like that type of thing, like him and his friends and like everybody that was involved in his life, like, and that was involved in mine, like I can't separate, I guess you can say. Like it reminds me a lot of him, and I can't like pick it apart, I guess. Like imagine someone else. Like that's who popped into my head first, and that's not something that I want. Yeah.
She don't want that.
No.
That makes sense.
What's in the past stays in the past.
Yeah, I have a question that kind of relates to that. Can you read books where one of the main characters shares a name with your sibling or someone that you're really close with?
I don't have that issue. My siblings have French names that you would literally never fucking see
In a book.
in any of the books we read. So, and I've never seen my own name in a book.
Huh.
At least I think once, and it was a side character. So I was
Okay.
like, okay. So.
All right, S, then you.
Like there was a book, what is it called? Bitter Heat by Mia Knight. The guy's name is James Roth. James is my sister's fiance's name, but in the book he goes by Roth. So I didn't have issues. Like there was no issues there.
Yeah, you did not
know?
have issues there.
No.
But also your brother has a pretty common name. No?
Alfonso?
Yeah. No, you've never encountered that?
I've encountered side characters were in like the mafia setting, like Alfonsi, Fonzo type of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I don't. That didn't bother me. No.
What about your name? That's a very, very common name.
I think I've read
read books before.
one book where I'm like a side character, barely mentioned.
You're a side
Side character. I don't think I've ever read a book where my name is like the main character. I don't think.
I'm trying to think if I have.
You have, Sephora?
No, for your name.
No.
Oh, for real?
My name, are you going to find somewhere? No. Even if you find, like, the Hebrew Zipporah, I don't think you'll find it. Sorry. I couldn't even find my name on a damn pen. You think I'm going to find it in a book?
Oh, girl, same.
Yeah.
And my name is technically has like English origins, so like I don't know why it's so unpopular.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an ugly name, I guess.
No, it's
Isn't
not.
one of Ruby Dixon's characters named Marjorie or Marge or something like that?
No,
No,
in her Ice Planet of Barbarian.
that or in her
If it's the fantasy one, then maybe, because I haven't read those. But in the dragons and the blue aliens,
No.
I don't think so. When it happens, then I can, for once in my life, just read in first person and enjoy the heck out of it. It's like it's like those fanfics where it's like breeder, you know, there's like the female character has no name and it's just like you, like insert yourself here. That would be me. Well, I mean, I can name off like a couple of tropes that are not like hard nosed, but just like not a fan. I agree with S on firefighters and cops. Hate those. It's just not a sexy thing for me. Like firefighters, everyone's always like, "Oh my god, firefighters!" And I'm like, no, literally the most unsexy thing to me. Like I don't like overly like, "Oh, I'm hot" type of professions. You know, like you see a cop and you're like, "Yeah, he fucking knows. He knows." Okay, and I don't like that attitude.
Yeah.
Same for firefighters. I don't like the attitude. Okay. Army guys used to be a hard no for me just because I'm not a fan of the army. I'm outing myself right here, right now.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. But I have read a couple ones that I did like, so it's not like a hard no. I'm taking it off the list for now. But I will say celebrity trope, hate that. Hate it with a passion. There's never been an exception to that rule.
Wait, pause. What about Ghosted by J.M. Darhower? You read it, no?
I haven't read that.
I
liked it. I read it. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, love it too.
But do you like the celebrity trope?
I have to be in the mood for it, and I'm hardly ever in the mood for it. Like, for Carter and Leah, I wasn't in the mood for it, and I'm like, damn, he turns into a rock star, doesn't he? And but like I still pushed through and I still enjoyed it. But yeah, I have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, Second Chance. Not a fan favorite over here.
I could do Second Chance, but it has to be done well.
I can do Second Chance if it's like she had a secret baby that she never told him about, and then like she's been living the hard life ever since and it's really angsty, and then he comes back.
This is why you would love Turkish shows, because that's a trope they use all the time. Literally 2
Secret
shows I feel like
baby?
are doing it right now.
I feel like that's a trope that a lot of people hate.
Yeah.
The secret baby trope. I love it. I'm here for it.
But it
Here
had
for
to
that
be...
angst. That Wattpad angst.
I don't think I'll go looking for secret pregnancy. Like, if it happens, it happens. But I don't think I would go
No.
searching for those type
For
of
the
books. No.
angst, I would. But I also go searching for, like, where one of the partners initially doesn't want the baby, but then, like, they do want the baby, and, like, I just want that angst.
Oh, you know what I remember you multiple times not liking as?
What?
Breeding books.
Oh!
The breeding kink. I feel like it's hard for you to like them.
You
Like
don't
there's
like
been
the
a lot
breeding
of
kink?
I think it has to
misses.
be done like really well. I think I've DNF a couple where it comes to breeding.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you're not. It's the way it's written. It's the way it's.
they're often not very well written.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
What about Insta Love?
Oh my god, hard no. Can't believe I
that
forgot
can't
that one.
do.
Ew.
I can do it if it's
Insta lust?
what?
I said insta lust maybe because it's like attraction. You're attracted to that person. But if emotions get involved, like right off the bat, can't do it. I don't believe it.
Insta lust with slow burn
Yes.
romance. Can do.
Yes.
What were you gonna say about Insta love?
Jessica Kane. Like, it's.
I mean,
like,
she does it for you.
yeah.
Has she done a breeding book?
I believe.
Aren't all her books breeding books?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I've only ever read one, and it was a bit too much for me. But then, like, was it you, Steph? I saw something on Twitter. I think you retweeted, you commented, and I was like, "Oh, girl, same." It was like a gif of some show, probably like a Chinese drama where the guy's like, "I want to put another baby on you, in you, or something." And I was like, I can deal with.
I think it's Cherry. Hold on, I know what it's called. Just in case you all are interested in the breeding king, I've never watched it, so I don't know how far this goes. It could just be like a cute romantic scene.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember, and that's gonna kill me if I don't know the name of the. It's known, it has 3 titles, but the one that I know is 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. Yeah, that's one I know. And it's from 2017, so.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's a Chinese show. It's a period drama.
Love Triangle.
Yeah.
Really?
That's...
No, I'm asking you girls, like, is that something? I don't mind Love Triangle.
I don't mind them.
Yeah. I know that could be like a hard
Only
no
if
for
I'm
some.
right, though. Only if I'm rooting for the right people.
yeah, not Jacob.
I love Jacob. My young self was rooting for him for like a movie and a half.
Your current self is still rooting for him.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, it has to be done well, and like you said, I have to be rooting for the right person.
If Stephanie Meyer, which is a problematic author to begin with, but was to release the trilogy that she talked about, which was about Jacob and Renesmee, would you read it?
Speaking of that, I saw someone on Twitter, on TikTok, say something. She found something that was leaked. I don't know how true it is. And she talked about how she is going to write it, or she's writing and she's going to release the story between.
Yeah.
And I guess she got a cease and desist. What is it? The cease and desist letter for her to take down her video or something like that.
Oh.
That's because when they were celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Twilight, she literally said that that's what she was working on. So I find that weird because it's like you kind of announced it yourself that you were working on a trilogy for the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone at all excited for that?
G.
I just find it icky to me that, like, he desired her mother and wanted to be with her mother. And if Renesmee was
Hey, G,
never
by the
born
way.
and Bella did choose Jacob, what happens then?
But then how is that different, though? I mean, I get it. There's something about it that's wrong, and I never liked the idea of it, which is why I fan casted myself as Renesmee falling in love with my own vampire. But as a kid, I have to.
Yes, please specify.
As a kid. Where was I going? Oh, how is that different from just those like fated mates where the guy's like way older?
It differs.
Which we are all into.
It differs because he made out and desired her mother. And
True.
He said the only reason why he felt this affinity or connection with Bella was because of the baby in her womb, meaning her egg that she did not, it wasn't fertilized at the time. He felt desire for that egg inside her until Edward's sperm went in and fertilized it. And he's like, oh my gosh, this is it. I love Bella.
The dead ass crusted inside for 100 years sperm. Have you guys seen that meme where it's like, if Jacob was just in love with her egg all along, how come he never was in love with Edward's sperm?
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't seen that.
I saw that.
That's where the tension came from between the two of them. It was sexual chemistry
You know what?
all along.
I could believe that. But one thing I cannot understand is, how did Bella not pass this egg? I don't know why we're getting to this logistics, but pass this egg, because he liked her for a while. So, I'm just trying to understand how this happened. Is he, did he have an attachment to her womb? What was going on there? I need a biology lesson.
I mean, our egg supply, we have it from birth.
Yeah.
So I guess on that sense, it makes sense. She has her egg supply. We're really getting into this. I'm gonna sing the anatomy lesson song. No, I'm not. I guess she had her egg supply already. We have that in us from the very beginning.
Okay.
Whereas I guess for men, does it not regenerate, it's not the same sperm their whole life.
Yeah.
It's new sperm.
All right, let's end this.
So maybe that's why there was no attraction between Jacob and Edward, so they say.
But maybe
they say.
I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's just leave this to Stephanie Meyer. Let her take this in her hands and write that romance.
I just love how often we mentioned the Twilight movies and books.
I know.
On the podcast. It just really shows
what shaped
the
us.
generation we're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, what shaped us. I mean, I guess S is just here along for the ride.
I knew
was really a part of
as
it.
they came out, right? Or did you watch them after? Did you watch them as they were coming out, or did you watch them after that they were all after they were all out?
No, as they were coming out.
Okay.
I think we did midnight premieres starting with the second movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and on.
Funny that she read Twilight fanfic, but not Twilight.
For real.
Yeah,
you read a lot of fucking Twilight fanfic.
I think
in
so.
2010 to 2013 or so.
Yeah.
All the Christina Lauren books, all the 50 Shades of Grey books, all the J.R. Darhower books or whatever.
Did you read Gabriel's Inferno? That's also Twilight fanfiction.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
It's all fucking Twilight fanfic. Everything,
Everything, right? Yeah.
Now we're getting
Everything
into the
we fucking
Raylo
read.
fanfiction era.
Yes. We will conquer. We will conquer.
Maybe I should join that while it's hot right now.
You should.
Yeah.
One last hard no for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm just getting into one more. But maybe this has
Get in as
exceptions.
many as you need, girl.
Is the dead lover trope.
Oh.
Yeah, I have some issues with that one, and it's more so just a personal issue. And there are books that, there are exceptions for,
Rowan Whitethorn.
Yes. Rowan, for sure. Yes. Also, Leo, which he's from Married by Morning. He's another exception, his story. But yeah, the dead lover trope, it never intrigued me at all.
Can you explain to people what you mean by that? Because just in case they don't know what you mean.
Yeah, so basically it's when one of the love interests had a partner before and they had passed away, I guess, prematurely. They died before their time or anything. Or even just they just died in general.
And they're still very much pining after that person and, like,
Yes.
still devastated by their death. And that's, like, kind of looming over the romance itself.
Yes.
Because Seth's argument is that then the new love interest is always second best to the memory of a dead lover.
Yes.
That's
there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining it so well.
You're welcome. So moving on from tropes we do not like or hard nose to tropes that we love. And specifically tropes that we love and feel like there are not nearly enough books that fit that trope. We're going to start with S because she's been really slacking. She's been slacking this episode. We said no preparation, but like... Jesus Christ.
See, for this stuff, I need to prepare. Like, I need to...
She needed to prepare. Do you want me to start then?
I feel like we all
I'll
have
start.
the same one. The rejected mate, where they end up with the mate that rejected them.
Oh, right. So the subject of today's conversation came from the fact that one trope we love that does not get nearly enough books is the rejected mate trope, where the rejected mate still ends up with the one who rejected her or him or them. That trope.
Yes.
Where the fuck are the books? And when there are books, trust me, I've read them all and they are not great.
Okay, to be honest.
Why is that?
To be honest, Kate C. Wells' book, I enjoyed it thoroughly, loved it, and it was everything that I could have wanted.
She's talking
and it
about
fed my love for it.
Tyrant Alpha's
Rejected Mate. Awful
Why
title.
the title?
But for
Awful.
me, in my opinion, loved it. But yeah, I agree. There's not
didn't.
enough books at all for it.
There are not nearly enough books for that trope, and it's so delicious. It's like, think about the angst. Think about the pining. Think about the pain. Think about the walking on broken glass when he or she realizes what they fucking did.
Mm-hmm.
How they rejected the one person that's perfect for them, the one person they love, and now that person has moved on, or how much they've hurt them in the process.
Yeah.
I know, listen, we are not saying that these tropes are particularly healthy. We're just saying they're fun.
No, we know we're leaving our feminism by the door. We know.
Out the door. Never seen her before. Yeah. Where are they at? I love that trope.
Yeah.
Maybe you girls should write your own and release it and...
And here's the thing. A lot of the books that have that trope are Wattpad books that have later been published. And they are bad. Very bad. So, yeah, I've been burnt too many times. I'm wary of that trope now, even though I love it so much. But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I said, I'm just gonna have to write my own fucking fan fiction and like give it to y'all as a birthday gift or some shit. I don't know, but we're gonna have to do something about this because it's tragic.
I know. It's
Tragic.
It provides the angst and, like you said, the good grovel. Like, if a book has a grovel in it, it has me.
I think that's one of my things too for grovel. I feel like there isn't enough books that gives it like really good.
Yeah, with a really good grovel. Like, I honestly feel like we're robbed a lot of the times when a grovel should happen.
Not to talk about Rowan again, but I will say that I feel like Rowan and Aelin could count as a form of rejected mate to the,
Yeah.
loose sense of the word, just because it was a dead lover instance.
Yes.
Spoiler alert for Throne of Glass, the entire series incoming, so, stop listening now if you haven't read them and want to read them. But the woman who died, who, he thought was his mate, turns out she's not actually his mate. Aelin is. And so not only was he pining after this dead woman who he thought was his mate, but he was also in the process rejecting his actual mate and being like really mean to her.
Oh, I'm getting
really
triggered.
Why? Triggered?
Bowen
also did the same shit.
Exactly.
I know, but Bowen can fucking wait. Okay, I'm talking about the love of my life here. Give me a moment. Anyway, I feel like that, in a very, 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 very loose sense of the word, or the trope, rejected mate,
Agreed.
could work. Fucking Bowen, though.
Bowen,
he sure did.
Yeah.
He did exactly that. Yeah.
There's another, Zoey Draven, the 4th book that came out in the Horde King series. It kind of does a rejected mate. They were like childhood friends, but like they've always had like a strong bond with one another. And he like up and leaves, and like years pass, and then he comes back and he's like, "I want you," and she's like, "Are you crazy?" No. And they do like mate. I said do guys. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, that book does have like bonds between two individuals. So.
Yeah. Another one of my tropes, which I don't think has a name per se. It's the trope where they have to have sex or one of them is gonna die.
Give us some examples, please.
Survival sex. I don't know what to call it. Like just urgent sex. I don't know what to call it. Examples.
Alert! Sex needed now type shit, right?
Sex needs to happen now.
Yeah.
I recently read a book. Oh God, what was it called? It was called Endangered Species by Onley James. And in that book, the guys are in prison together. And for the quote unquote survival of one of them, they're put in the same cell together, and like they have to pretend to have this like forceful sexual relationship between them, where one of them is like really, abusive and like, possessive over him to protect him from the other guys in the prison. Anyway, I call that survival sex, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. We have to have sex, or like it happens a lot in Omegaverse books as well, where like one of them goes into heat and then it's like, we have to have sex because she or he is gonna die. I'm fucking all over that. I don't fucking know why.
I love it too, and I wish we had more, or like it's like easily to like not easily. It's easy to pinpoint which books have it.
I'm currently reading the Abducted for the Pack, and it has that. It just popped into my head. There's a scene where they find this girl. She gets taken to like where they're from. They're werewolves. The guys are werewolves. Mm-hmm. She gets taken and she goes into like their like wherever they live. In order for her to survive, she needs to be bitten and then
and fucked thoroughly by the whole pack.
Yeah, but but there's a scene where the main alpha, he's teasing her. And he needs to take care of her, but he lets her, she can't play with herself.
Meaning, like, just because he won't do anything, or that's against the law?
No, he's an asshole. And he kind of...
he's one of those.
He's a huge asshole. And I guess from what I remember, she's touching herself, and he's letting her, but she's not allowed to. She's not supposed to. He needs to take care of her. And he almost kills her because of that. And, like, his betas come in, and they, like... push him out of the way, and then like they just take over and they start having sex with her in order for her to like survive.
How do you find these books?
Facebook. All my Omegaverse, all my reverse harem.
Oh my god.
Groups.
You know what? I think it's time to pop another cherry for me.
I feel like I read a book not long ago, and I feel like you guys read it too. Did we read a book where the girl needed to replenish her energy, and the way to do that was to have sex?
Was that not MacRieve and Chloe from Immortals After Dark?
Yes. Oh. Exactly that. Yes. Yeah. That counts as part of that trope.
Yes, it does.
That counts. She literally needs him to feed her jizz. Yes.
Kresley Cole knew the assignment, and she exceeded the requirements of that assignment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she gave us the really angst afterwards, too, when she realized the jizz had bad juju in it.
Oh,
and he was killing her.
Oh my god. She was hate fucked.
Yes.
Love to see it.
I know.
Oh, Kresley Coleman.
I'm so excited. I mean, hopefully at this point we already had Monroe in our hands and we read it.
Is it good? Is it not?
Future Sephra,
Please let us know,
tell me.
future readers, listeners.
It's gonna be good.
Okay, any other tropes like that you guys are like, fucking love that trope?
Reincarnation for me. Reincarnation, where like they end tragically, like it's a tragic death, and then they find themselves in another lifetime, and Kresley Cole did it again, where like they're enemies, and then they find out that they were lovers in the past, but they have to find a way to bridge that gap. I feel like when reincarnation is done in books, they're not done to the way that I like it.
I'll add to that another trope that Kresley Cole did very well that I feel is not done very well. It's done often, but not very well. The taken as prisoner and actually treated like a prisoner, aka Sabine and Rydstrom.
Yes.
That was done well, where it's like you're not suddenly treated like a princess because you're taken prisoner. Well, I guess, or a prince in that case, because it was him. No. It was like, no, you're actually treated like shit and like used and abused.
Yes. So yeah, I mean,
Hades and Persephone.
Oh, I feel like it's overdone.
Good Hades and Persephone retellings, good ones.
Yes, good ones.
That is not overdone. In actual true retellings where he actually kidnaps her, please.
Yes.
You know, like don't. I feel like there's a lot of like, oh, I'm gonna do a Hades and Persephone one, but I'm gonna make it like socially acceptable, and I'm like I'm not about that life. I'm tired of Hades being an absolute fucking wimp.
Yes.
In all the retellings. Tired.
Agreed.
Been there, done that. Tired of it. So, good Hades and Persephone retellings are rare. Okay.
I'd have to agree.
Another thing I guess I'll have to write myself.
Yes.
I'll fucking write a Hades and Persephone retelling with the dead lover. No, sorry, not the dead lover trope. We don't like that one. The reincarnation trope with an Omegaverse where they have to have sex or she will die. And
Rejected Mate.
It's a rejected mate book.
Yes.
Write that down, please.
Do you have a last one?
I guess you can say Grumpy Sunshine, but I would like to see where the girl's the grumpy and the guy's the sunshine.
Oh.
I'll raise you another one. Grumpy.
Oh, grumpy.
Would they get anything done?
No, they would just be two grumps together, just like being annoyed at everyone and everything together, which I find would be amazing. Where the fuck is that book?
Yeah.
Imagine there's just like them bitching about everything and everyone constantly.
Yeah.
I would love it. But true that there's not a lot of Grumpy Sunshine where the girl is the grumpy one,
Yeah.
and the guy is the sunshine one.
Yeah, I'm trying to have off the top of my head which ones I've read. I feel like I have read a few where the girl is the grumpy one, but yeah, it's not done often, and I do enjoy it.
Forced marriage.
Yes.
Forced, not arranged. Forced. We're really showing your true colors.
We are. We are. Again, I'll say it. Turkish shows do it. Forced marriage always happens.
Marriage in Trouble.
I feel like that's done quite often.
More and more so now, but
yeah, more so now.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Nodding.
Ooh.
We could always use more nodding.
More nodding, yes.
In our lives. We love a nod.
We're not gonna have any listeners after this.
Yeah, They stopped listening after like 3 minutes when we started talking about cheating or some shit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I got canceled because I canceled cheating.
Or I got canceled because I didn't cancel it. Okay, so before we end the episode, I actually had another question for you.
Oh, okay.
That I didn't tell you about. So S is probably gonna be like, I need 10 million years to think about it.
I'm gonna stress out.
She is that student. I don't know why I keep going to this. She's that student that like, or not even the student. I don't even know where I'm going. But she's the one that does the preparation, but doesn't tell her friends that she did the preparation. But she just says, "Oh no, I didn't prep at all for this."
I feel
or,
like
for
that's
the
you.
test.
That's you.
How is that me? She prepped
That's
a whole,
always
like,
you.
list.
Prepping? I literally have 3 fucking lines on in my notes. How is that prepping?
I have 0 notes for this. As has 0 notes for
well,
this.
that's
We
your
fully
fucking
agreed.
problem.
We agreed
That's your
yesterday, no
problem.
notes. Not even questions. And you come with questions. Anyways, go. Tell us your question.
My first question is...
She's got more than one.
I do. My first question is, we are recording this in 2021, okay? So just like imagine yourself bloop, in 2022, okay? You are your 2022 self. The world is great. COVID is behind us once and for all. The world is back to normal and romance is thriving.
Okay.
What is one book, doesn't have to come out in 2022, it can be a book that has already been released, but what is a book that you are predicting will be a 5 stars for you?
Pack Darling 2 by Lola Rock.
More so than Broken Blood Broken, whatever fuck that was called.
Oh, that's gonna. Those 2 are gonna be my 5. 5
What
plus.
is it called?
Blood
I
Bond.
butchered the title
Blood
of that.
Bonds, but that one doesn't come out until December. Well, we're in 2022.
End of December.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a book that's not out, though. It can be a book that is out.
So it's an
already
ongoing
or
series.
isn't
So
out.
can that be?
Sure. The whole series is a predicted 5 stars for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I predict that too. 5 stars all around for that series.
Yeah.
Choose something else just to be different.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I have to go
fine.
through my reverse harem list. Hold on.
Be original.
Okay, so for me, I'm obsessed with Zoey Draven's Horde King series. I already mentioned it. But her 5th book's coming out in January. That one will be probably a 5-star for me.
Wait, I haven't seen anything about that. Like, not a cover, not anything.
She doesn't have a cover or anything, but she keeps saying on her Facebook group, not group, but just her Facebook page in general, she says it's coming out in January.
Okay. See, I this is the proof that I did not prepare, even though my co-hosts believe otherwise, because I literally do not have an answer to my own question, so I need to think about it a little bit. Okay, you know what? I'll go rogue, and I'll say 3 things.
Okay.
My first rogue choice is This Woven Kingdom. I feel like that could be a 5 stars for me, just based on the premise. My second choice is gonna be, because as of right now, believe it or not, I'm a little ashamed to admit that, but I have not yet read Morning Glory Milking Farm.
It's a great experience.
Yeah. And then I am gonna put my fate and trust my friends and say that who knows, Broken Bonds might be a 5 stars. Will it be though? We'll see about
if it's a 5 stars, I will read your spider book.
Oh.
I will face my fears.
Oh, that's a hard no. You forgot about that one.
That is
She's not
no.
into spider heroes.
Nothing spiders. If a book has any type of spiders in it, it's I won't go
Is
near
it just spiders or is it insects?
spiders. I can do other insects. I could do snakes.
Oh, that fucking sounded like incests.
Okay, yeah, incest is another hard no for me, guys.
Glad you clarified that. I'm sure our listeners were worried. Insects. Okay.
I can. Yeah, it's spiders.
Okay.
My last question is, what book are you committing to reading in 2022? Commitment here.
You're calling
Commitment.
us out here.
I am. So we're going to revisit this answer come 2023. And if you have not read it, something's going to happen. I don't know what yet, but this is commitment.
All right. I can't say Crescent City 1 because I would have been done reading this already. I can't say Crescent City 2 because that's a cop-out.
You can't say something obvious that, we know we're all going to read it. You know?
I mean, Crescent City is a big thing for me. I haven't read it. It's been out for, 2 years now, and I haven't read it.
Okay. I mean, you can say that.
Well, yeah, that, but I feel like I would already be done reading it at this point. I'm manifesting me finishing it.
Good thinking there.
I'm gonna
Manifestation.
I'm gonna say Pack Darling.
Oh, okay, the first one, because that's right, you haven't read
I
those
haven't read it
yet.
yet.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so 2022 Sephra is reading Pack Darling.
Yes. And maybe this Hunted Alpha whatever book that you're reading right now, I might be in the mood to read
Abducted
that.
by the pack for the pack.
There you go. Because I want to read that scene and I want it. Anyways.
What is your 2022 commitment?
It will have to be, and it's sitting on my shelf, Arrows Through Archer by Nash Summers. Because I've had it sitting there.
Is that the one Marge bought you?
Yeah. So that's...
Wow.
We're going there.
I'll believe it when I see it.
What about Land of the Beautiful Dead?
Oh yeah, that was
That
thinking...
was her fucking 2021 commitment. She already
I still have time because I was thinking, I was like, what books do I need to finish before the year ends? And
Yeah, she got time.
it's that one, and then Door of Bruises by Sierra Simone.
Door of
Those two.
Bruises.
Oh, yeah.
It's the last book. And then Carter, sorry, not Carter, Brother Song by TJ Klune. It's the fourth book
Oh, okay.
in the series.
What's mine?
Can this kind of count? Is this like a face your monster type of question?
I would say it is. It's a facing your monster, one that you haven't completed yet.
Okay, I have mine, but I know I'm gonna fail.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's hear it.
I bought several years ago a copy of The Bronze Horseman
Oh, okay, yes.
by Paulina Simmons. And it's just sitting there. And it's annoying me. So, I feel like I would love that book.
Does it end
Perhaps.
happily though? Like that trilogy?
I'm reading the first one, okay?
Okay.
I would commit to that one, but it's very long. But yeah.
All right.
Also, I should probably commit to Whitney, My Love,
Oh, it's another one I gotta finish too.
because I also bought, and I am not a book buyer. Like, I do not buy physical copies of anything.
Yeah.
But I did buy a copy of, like, one of the first editions of that book.
Oh.
Because that book was edited. So I, out of frustrations, which...
I think
I'm
that's
sure you
where your
know,
frustration
patterns
started,
here.
right? With
Yeah. Books being edited to fit a certain crowd and, like,
Yeah.
authors being like, I'm changing this because it was a little, like, too much.
Yeah.
I'm committing to what? Yeah, okay, you know what? Fuck my commitment to The Bronze Horseman. I'll read it one day. I'm committing to reading Whitney, My Love in 2022.
All right.
That's it. That's my commitment.
Good commitment. All right, guys.
Cancel
we
me
got
for it.
this.
Yeah. Do we?
We do.
Why did I choose, like, a hot alien smutty book that's, like, 30 pages long? That's a commitment I can...
Because you read that all the time.
Ooh. Fine. Okay. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Right?
It ended up being quite long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we figured out the title.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we are no longer beholden by the time police.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have answers to any of these questions, so what are your favorite tropes? Tropes you feel like there just aren't enough books for that trope? Tropes that are hard-nosed for you?
Mhm.
Or what are your 2022 commitments? If you have an answer for any of those questions, feel free to reach us online. You can find us on Twitter at @TheRTMPod. Also on Twitter, no, I just said that. Also on Instagram at Romance and the Monsters Podcast. You can also email us at romancingthemonsterspodcast@gmail.com. And we are on TikTok at Romance and the Monsters Pod and YouTube under the same name. No, actually, under Romance and the Monsters Podcast. Feel free to subscribe to us while you're on there as well, please. And if you're looking for me specifically, because you want to tell me that I'm absolutely fucking wrong about my opinions on everything, you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Foes and Lovers.
And you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at ButThisBook.
And you can find me, Saf, on both Instagram and Twitter at Pros with Woes. Yeah, if you want to yell at me about my dislike for cheating and Dead Lover Trope.
I don't see why anyone would
all
do
ears.
that.
You never know. You never know. Those two could be two
I
tropes.
think this is the one debate where Romance Landia is very much on your side.
Okay, well, we'll see. Anyways, also, please feel free to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you have the time or would like to. And also, please feel free to subscribe on any of the podcast platforms. Yeah, it'll mean the world to us if you could.
And that's it. See you next week, guys.
Bye.